We'll attend a Texas history lesson.
We'll preview the gazebo.
And we'll have highlights from Valero, Texas.
All this and more coming up About Town.
Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to About Town. I'm Susan Kamyab.
And I'm Kathy Whiteman, and we're thrilled to have Susan with us to co-host our first show of the new year.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Golden Globes was a surprise this year.
Yes.
Do you think it's going to be kind of like that for the Oscars as well?
I think so. I think the SAGs are coming up on Sunday, so I do think that that'll be a little bit of a preview there, but for the most part, the Oscars has always been known to be the most unpredictable one, but by far this year, with the diverse films that are probably going to be nominated, and the fact that Get Out could possibly be nominated. I don't know if they're willing to do it.
Yeah.
Even if it gets nominated, that is already a step like in a new direction.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. So do you have any personal favorites?
I loved Get Out.
Yeah, I can kind of tell.
Yeah, so that would be really awesome. I really enjoyed The Disaster Artist, Lady Bird. Shape of Water is kind of the front runner. It's a beautiful, well-directed film. Guillermo del Toro deserves director. I'd give it to him, or Jordan Peele. Forget Out, sorry.
Yeah.
But so it could win Best Picture too. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many films, you have no idea which one's going to take the top prize.
Well, over the next couple of weeks, you'll kind of have to keep telling us what you think as you see it shaping up. So, folks, we're glad that you could join us to get some details on the 2018 MLK observance Freedom Riders.
We've also got the details on Frost Fest 2018 and the Irving Black Arts Council production, Content of Character.
As always, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know about a community event you'd like to promote on the show or a story you'd like to see.
You can email us at ictn@cityofirving.org or connect with us on social media. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you.
Fourth grade teachers at Menara Academy and their enterprising students tackled the monumental task of turning 300 years of Texas history into a 4-act play. They titled it Texas, Oh Texas, and presented it on the Carpenter Performance Hall stage just before Christmas. Here's a look.
By the looks of the map and our surroundings, it looks like we're in Texas.
Early explorers might not have said those words exactly, but these fourth graders certainly captured their spirit of adventure.
This is LaSalle, one of the original Texas explorers. In 1682, as a fur trader, LaSalle explored along the Mississippi River, all the way from Canada to the Gulf of Mexico.
This fact-filled original play, Texas, Oh Texas, was the culmination of more than 6 months of planning, shaping, researching, writing, rehearsing, all in the spirit of the adventure of learning. The play covered a lot of ground.
Cabeza de Vaca, Alvarado, we have 2 French settlers that are also in this first act. And then from there we go into like the Spanish conquest where they start building the Alamo, and then we move into Mexican War of Independence where we're going to see Santa Anna, and then the Texans finally going for their freedom with Stephen F. Austin and Sam Houston.
The teachers start working this summer, doing planning, looking at our state standards, looking at how to have students think deeply about our history, our state history.
All of our 4th grade social studies TEKs are actually covered in this play because in 4th grade they actually learn about Texas state history. So that was our initial set of TEKs that we really looked at. What history TEKs could we cover with this?
The project also allowed teachers to cover 4 math standards, 5 reading standards, and all of their writing standards. But student engagement was big on their list of accomplishments too.
What I really like is I can see the children actually learning the material as we go because it is a lot of discovery-based material.
That very first layer of knowledge, and then we keep going from there, and we keep learning more and more.
Principal Monica Hall says that discovery is a fundamental goal at her school.
We want well-rounded children who are able to take a state standard and they're able to transfer that into deeper learning.
But what the students learn about themselves may be the biggest benefit.
70% of me is so excited, and then the other 30% I'm kind of nervous. I'm just gonna try my best.
The cattle help teach Alvarado how to hunt to find food.
This is Kathy Whiteman reporting. If you'd like to learn more about Menara Academy programs, visit them online at menaraacademy.org.
When you combine comedy with a classic murder mystery, what do you get? The Gazebo, presented by Main Stage Irving Las Colinas on the Dupree Theater stage. Here's a preview. Elliot Nash is a successful crime fiction television writer, but he's about to find himself involved in a real-life murder mystery. Main Stage Irving Las Colinas presents Alec Koppel's hit play, The Gazebo.
The Gazebo is a wonderful play. It's a thriller, but it's also a comedy. And our hero realizes that his wife is being blackmailed, and he decides that he's going to do something about it, so he shoots the man. And then, of course, what do you do with the body? So he decides he's going to bury it under the new foundation of the gazebo being built in his backyard. Well, as the play progresses, suddenly we find the body on his living room floor. And from then the usual hilarity ensues, cops and baddies and so on and so forth.
And Doug Miller returns wearing a new hat as director of the show.
Elegant. That's the word I like to give it. Elegant.
Doug Miller is an incredibly talented director. He appeared in a main stage production of Into the Woods a long time ago. And we've been trying to get him to come back as a director, but he's very busy and very big demand. So we are thrilled to have him here. With this particular production, because Doug is a huge Hitchcock fan, the audience should look for some little Hitchcock touches as they watch the play. They'll start recognizing little bits that are definitely Hitchcock-esque.
With its talented cast and hilarious antics, there's lots of reasons to see this play.
She suspects. She might even know. Don't come here again, all right? I'm gonna come to your office.
Oh my God, Mr. Nash! She's really got you bulldozed, hasn't she? Well, look, I'll try to keep the Magruders hot. You keep hacking away at this house. Get to work on the fuses. Try to louse up the electricity or something.
Just lots of fun. People like murder mysteries, but again, there's lots of comedy, lots of just fun stuff happening on stage. And again, they have an opportunity to see Doug Miller direct, and that's very special indeed.
The Gazebo is a family-friendly show with thrills, laughs, and deadly fun. For About Town, this is Susan Comyard. Main Stage Irving Las Colinas presents The Gazebo January 19th through February 3rd in the Dupree Theater. Call 972-252-ARTS for tickets and showtimes.
The story of the Freedom Riders comes to the Carpenter Hall stage as part of the 2018 Martin Luther King Jr. observance.
Todd Hawkins and Jackie Madden joins us with the details. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
I have to say part of, because this year's MLK observance / Black History Month observance is huge, thanks to
really
this
is.
partnership between you guys.
Yes.
But Jackie, let me start with the Freedom Riders. An incredibly important story that's a part of the civil rights movement. Tell me what you guys are bringing to the stage.
With a partnership with the Irving Arts Center, we've really been able to expand the celebration opportunities. So on Sunday, you'll have an opportunity to see two performances. There's a 2:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. of the Freedom Riders. It's a 60-minute production, and after each production, we're going to have a Q&A with two of the 13 original Freedom Riders. So we'll get to ask them questions and gain from their personal accounts of that period of history and what it meant to them.
I just think that's extraordinary.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to bring something like that to town that is so huge.
It's not that many times that you can collaborate with a presentation and living legacies, and when you're able to do that, it's just a wonderful opportunity.
And I want to say, and wait, there's more, because there is, right?
Yeah. I mean, can you tell us about the exhibit Light of Ours?
Yes, this light of ours comes to us from the Center for Documentary Expression and Art in Salt Lake City. It is a photo exhibition of sort of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee and their photographers. So it's activist photographers during the Civil Rights Movement. There's 157 black and white photos from 9 photographers. It's such an amazing and emotional exhibition. We have free tours of it every Thursday at 6:30 and every Sunday at 2:30, as well as an audio tour of the entire show.
Yeah, can you tell us how that works?
Just with your cell phone, you come in, each of the photos have phone numbers by it and a number to press for either an adult tour or a children's tour. We have both of those going throughout the whole exhibit.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What a great way to organize that. And again, but wait, there's more. There is going to be an opportunity to maybe meet some of, again, living legacies,
Right.
some of these photographers. Tell us about that.
For our Black History Month celebration and in partnership with the Irving Black Arts Council, we have 2 events, but the one on February 25th, we will be having a panel discussion with some of those photographers. We hope that we have about 5, there are 5 of the 9 that are still living, and we hope to have about 4 of them there. And so it'll be a moderated discussion to hear from those photographers themselves. In fact, the audio tour is the voice of the photographers. When you go through and listen to those, the audio tour, you're hearing the photographers talk about their work and how they got into it, which is a fascinating story. They are from all over the country, all over, one from Canada, all different backgrounds, just such a diverse group of people that got involved in this very grassroots movement. And so while there are some Martin Luther King photos in it, a lot of it is parts of that movement that you don't see or haven't seen a whole lot. And it's just packed with emotion.
It is. It's amazing. I've got a chance to experience, and you have to say that I got a chance to experience it yesterday with Mr. Leslie Kellen, who gave a sort of an opening talk about it. So, and I wish everybody had been there because it was amazing. One more thing, because you're a Smithsonian affiliate.
Correct. And so as part of that, we are able to screen the Obama years, The Power of Words, and that will be on February 18th. We're going to have 2 screenings, one at 1:30 and one at 3:30. So that is out of the partnership and part of our celebration of Black History Month, and again, that partnership with the Irving Black Arts Council.
Well, let me just go ahead and say congratulations, because the programs have already kicked off. It's already extraordinary. This is going to be an experience that people will want to have. So folks, make sure that you're there on Sunday, January 21st, 2:30 or 6:30 p.m. or come and stay for both, because it's going to be pretty incredible. Get a chance to see the Freedom Riders play and meet 2 of the Freedom Riders, and then make sure that you go to irvingartscenter.com for more details on the other events that are coming up that will last through February.
12 Strong, the recently declassified story of the first U.S. Special Forces team deployed to Afghanistan after 9/11, comes to the silver screen on January 19. I talked with 2 members of the original team about seeing their story come to life on film.
Hopefully this film will inspire some young men and young women to step forth, volunteer to try out for the special operations community, try out for the different intelligence services. We need people that are willing to go into harm's way, go work with local partners around the world to try and tackle today's current complex problems.
Are you ready? Are you ready? You ready to take the lead?
I don't know if I'm as brave as you guys.
The most important thing a man can take into combat is a reason why.
Be in this fight, boys. You mark my words.
Can't you hear me knocking on your window?
19 men attacked our country. The 12 of you will be the first ones to fight back.
Thank you guys for your service. I think it's incredible what you guys did, and it's insane that I didn't even know about it until watching this film. How does it feel to see your story portrayed by this movie?
It's pretty surreal to see it, know that they're portraying my teammates, our specific mission, and to see them portray me personally is just, it's kind of interesting to watch. At some points you see it, hey, they got that scene right. There's some aspects of that, or in others, it for me, it triggers back to how that conversation or that event particularly went. But I was on the edge of my seat watching the film. You know, are we going to make it out? You know?
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about it earlier, the team dynamics, they got that. That was right on the money. That's how we bond together, we fight together, we basically live together, eat together when we deploy, and we're a brotherhood.
Yeah, and you're right. It's like, even though I knew you guys obviously made it, while watching the film, I was still worried. I was just, and I didn't know if all, I didn't realize all 12 of you guys survived, which is just great.
Yeah, miraculously, we did.
Absolutely, that's amazing in itself, and that is one of the things that most people ask us about is, you all survived?
Yeah.
After that? Yeah.
Why these men follow you? You take me to the Taliban, I'll show you. Okay?
We take horses.
You serious?
All right, who's ridden before? Anyone?
Cancun, spring break. Girl's pretty hammered.
Hey, this will be fun. 50,000 Al-Qaeda fighters, and you're just an army of 12.
We've just been handed the most important mission in the free world.
Honestly, what I love about this movie is that I haven't seen this yet, where we got to see like the U.S. Special Forces ally with the Afghanistan Army and fight the Taliban together, because I feel like we don't get to see that. Like,
That's
you guys
right.
collaborated.
That's right. Yeah. That's why that's an aspect of this movie that we really love. Absolutely.
Yeah, why do you feel like that's important to show?
I believe it's important to show the sacrifice and bravery of our Afghan allies. Our allies from 2001 are still our allies today, and they're in very tough, trying, complex problems that they are trying to figure out after a country has been utterly devastated by war for over 40 years. You know, they're trying to rebuild schools, roads, things that we take for granted here in the U.S. Medical care for families, you know, is a hot topic in the U.S., but I assure you they would love to have the level of medical care that we have. But there are so many complex problems that they continue to need our support, the international community's support in rebuilding Afghanistan.
Yeah, there's a contingent of Afghans that actually live in New York, and when we have the chance to go to New York for any type of dedication or some type of horse soldier get-together that's been sponsored by individuals up there, we actually go meet with these guys and their families, and we have small get-togethers.
Well, I know here in the Dallas area you have a community of Afghan immigrants, some of them who I know served as interpreters with the U.S. military. Some of them I personally know served as interpreters with U.S. Special Forces. They're brave young men, and they are now here in America legally trying to build a new life for their family.
The only way home is winning. This is from the towers. You carry that with you.
"12 Strong" opens January 19th at AMC Irving Mall and Regal MacArthur Marketplace. For more of my reviews and interviews, visit thischicksflicks.com.
The Irving Black Arts Council presents the original film Content of Character as part of their 2007-2018 season.
Filmmaker Cynthia Wills brings us the details.
It is always so great to see you.
Always good to be here.
And world premiere of this film based on your autobiography.
My autobiography. I wrote a book originally in 1982 after going through an abusive marriage. And I wasn't writing a book. I didn't write a book. I just needed therapy, some way of remembering who I was. And when I went home to Carolina, you know, I'm from South Carolina, and at home I found a diary that I had written when I was a little girl. And I'm home, I'm just, you know, and I began to read about myself, my first kiss, when I got enough, things that you know, when you're a little girl, you write these things.
Yeah.
And I just began to write it, and then it would make one memory after the other. And after 9 years, I published a book.
Sometimes it takes 9 years.
It does. It really does. And so we adapted it to a movie. And my director is it's L. Courtney Thorpe Douglas. She's a filmmaker, and actually she's been in the Irving Arts Film Competitions 3 years straight. So these are people that I've met through Irving Arts, and that just were great filmmakers. You've been to our film festivals; they're great. We have so many great filmmakers here, but I chose to work with Courtney, and she's done an excellent job. So we did a full feature.
That's great. That's great. And can you kind of tell us about the title of the film?
Content of Character was inspired by Dr. King's speech. I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. So it is the ingredients, everybody's personality, who you are. That's you. That is the content of your character. So in this story, it's a coming-of-age story, and it starts when I'm a little girl. And so 3 characters play me, and that's really something. To see 3 people. We have a young girl, Mila Smith plays me as a little girl, Alexis Benson plays me as a teenager, and then Jamie Jordan plays me as an adult. So it is my life, and it's going through all these different changes. And so they did an excellent job. It was really, really touching to see my life be replayed by someone else. It was really great.
That's great.
Yeah, that's an extraordinary experience to go through,
It
I'm
really
sure.
was.
Yeah, and can you just tell us about any upcoming events?
We have coming up next. Now, I know y'all are going to put my sweet dates up there for me, so I don't have to remember that.
You don't.
But we have Mommy, Please Forgive Me, which is by Connie Fernandez, who was last year's short play competition winner. And then we have Greg Ellis's play coming up in June, which it's going to be awesome. It's all over the country right now. It's just selling out everywhere, so we're going to bring it to Irving.
Oh, that's great.
Well, I tell you what, the Irving Black Arts Council, I love what you alluded to a minute ago, the collaboration, when you bring artists from various backgrounds together, the kinds of things that can happen, and the way you're supporting these local filmmakers and these local playwrights really, really makes a difference. So, back to yours. The event is happening on
January 28th.
Which is a Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
Is it going to be in Carpenter Performance Hall?
It's going to be in the Carpenter.
Okay,
yes.
good deal. And the time is 3:30 p.m. 252 Arts, 972-252 Arts. For details, you can also go to irvingblackarts.com or org?
.com.
Last summer, the Irving Arts Center brought Kegwin and Company to town for the community dance event, Bolero, Texas. Here's a look back at all the fun.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
It sounds like a warm-up for dance class, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But these brave performers have way more at stake than counting dance steps.
Walk around.
We are 4 days from opening night, the opening of Bolero, Texas, here in Irving.
Larry Kegwin is the founder of Kegwin and Company, and he's rehearsing his cast for the world premiere of Bolero, Texas. But let's back up. Bolero, Texas was the end product of 2 short weeks of creating an original community dance event from the ground up.
3, 4. Don't believe me, just watch. What?
Performers came from everywhere in Irving.
Heel toe.
I love that it's a diverse cast. I love that there is variety in the ability, and it brings me great joy sharing the tools of the theater.
The idea behind this community outreach effort is straightforward. Create an original, theatrical, dance-based event that captures the spirit of the community.
Sort of my rule of thumb is I want to find 2 defining features of a community. Because if I try and tackle 10, there's not enough time. So here, to me, it is obviously the cowboy and patriotism.
62, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's gonna be big, people!
Participants had big expectations for the experience and for themselves.
Last week it was getting a little stressful because then it was like, I'm not sure if I'm getting the steps. But now that we are getting closer and we've been practicing every night, I'm getting more comfortable, and I feel like I'll be ready on Saturday night.
I think it's more just pushing myself to just conquer something that I know I'll feel triumphant about afterwards.
Some performers came with several years of training. How many years of dance experience do you bring to this evening?
You're talking to me?
And then there were others.
You know, I really don't. I did a little gymnastics in high school, but this is more just a bucket list item.
No dance experience.
My goal is to remain a kid at heart, so that's what I'm trying to do.
Since I'm new with the Irving Arts Center, I figured why not go whole hog.
That's why Bolero, Texas was a community dance event. All you needed was the ability to move, a sense of adventure, and a healthy dose of courage. After a rehearsal period of just 2 weeks, the big night arrived.
Ravel's iconic score is only 15 minutes long, so we throw a lot of spaghetti on the wall and we see what sticks.
As far as the performers were concerned, a lot stuck, and there was plenty to look forward to.
I have some family that's going to be in the audience for them to see me do something that they would have no idea that I would even be interested in, nor actually do it.
I'm going to enjoy the whole process of the performance, but the very last song is really fun.
The after show cast party?
arts is such a wonderful way of communicating joy, of communicating any emotion. And I'm hoping that it's an outlet for them.
This is Kathy Whiteman reporting.
Up next at the Irving Art Center, an evening with Travis Tritt, Saturday, January 27th at 8 p.m. in Carpenter Performance Hall. For details on this concert and other great events, visit irvingartcenter.com.
Irving Events brought fun in the snow to Irving last January with Frost Fest, and the event was so successful, it's back again.
Jasmine Lee is with us to share the details for this year's event. Welcome.
Thank you.
Great to see you as always. So I want the backstory. Last year, this thing was first time and it just blew up. What happened? Were you surprised?
We were so surprised. We were expecting about 2,000 people to come out, and we ended up with almost double that. And we had no clue all these people were going to come out and enjoy the festival.
Well, there you are. So you got to bring it back, right?
Oh, absolutely. We knew right then and there during last year's event, this is coming back.
Yeah.
It was so popular, and so it's back, and this time we're ready for the crowds.
Yeah. And what kind of activities do you guys have planned for this year?
Well, we're bringing back all the popular things from last year. So we will have the snow tubing, the snow play area, we'll have the train, and we're going to have some new things this year that we haven't had in the past. Thanks to our presenting sponsor, Whole Foods, which has their new location. We are going to be able to add in a giant inflatable maze that you can get lost and find your way through.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
We have a toboggan tunnel that you'll sit on a toboggan and slide down, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, we've got photo stations, and we have some other attractions inside the building. So
that's great. So I think we talked earlier a little bit about ice skating. So you're actually going to have ice skating out there?
Absolutely.
Oh,
you
boy.
don't need to have your own skates. You don't need to know what you're doing. We'll have skates available on site, and you come and just check it out and try your hand at it.
Yeah, well, maybe you will. My ankles, I don't know.
I'm excited to get on the ice.
I think it would be great. So, but for those of us that are a little outdoor challenged, you've got some fun indoor stuff happening too.
We do. The Irving Public Library participates in this event. And so inside the building, they'll have a variety of puppet shows, story readings, and you can do craft activities. You can also sign up for a library card during the event.
And so where can people park to get to the event?
Parking is free. Because we are expecting so many people, we have off-site parking at Ranch View High School in their lot. And we will have complimentary shuttles taking you from that lot to the event throughout the entire event. We also have an ADA accessible shuttle, so wheelchairs can transport on the shuttles as well.
That's so smart. And food, because people won't know.
Yes. So everything is free at this event except the food. If you're hungry, we have 2 great food trucks that'll be on site. They have tacos, burgers, barbecue, anything you could think of that's really yummy will be out there.
This will be a really fun family day.
Yeah.
So welcome back, Frost Fest.
Yeah.
Folks, for the details, that's going to happen on Saturday, January 27th, starting at 10 a.m., lasting till 1 p.m. at Cimarron Park. For more details, visit irvingevents.org. See you there. And here are some other ways to celebrate 2018 about town. The Las Colinas Symphony presents Lindsay Garrettson, pianist, in concert on Saturday, January 20th at 8 p.m. in Carpenter Performance Hall.
The DFW premiere of Rebels on Point screens on Friday, January 26th at 7:30 p.m. in Carpenter Hall.
And you can see the world-famous Les Ballets Trocadero de Monte Carlo in performance in Carpenter Hall on Tuesday, January 30th at 7:30 p.m.
The Irving Symphony Orchestra presents a Russian Night Extravaganza on Saturday, February 10th at 7:30 p.m. in Carpenter Hall. Call 972-252-ARTS for more information about all these events. And that wraps up this edition of About Town. Thanks for joining us.
Please be sure to tune in next time when we'll bring you highlights from the 2018 MLK observance and an interview with Leslie Kellen about this light of ours at the Irving Art Center.
We'll also bring you highlights from an evening with Liz Rose at the Texas Musicians Museum.
We'll leave you tonight with a look at Craig Parker and the Royal Tribute Band celebrating a very special birthday. Yeah, you guessed it, it's Elvis. For About Town, I'm Kathy Whiteman.
And I'm Susan Kamyab. Have a great evening.
The blessing of my soul was around me.